Back in the office. Yeah,
Yeah, back in it. Hey, they're probably thinking, hey, the audio sounds maybe slightly worse than usual. It's because we're back in
the office, doing things wrong in person.
Yeah.
When I was greeted, Will, I came home, obviously, first port of call, head straight to the home house. And the lad, shout out to him. I don't think he's ever listened, but he did it after all his talk, Will, all his threatening over the years. He only went and damn did it.
Yeah.
He cancelled Sky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every dad is threatening it.
You know what? It's too much. It costs too much for what I'm getting. I never watched the movies, you know. Look, they brought this upon themselves. You know, you can't just buy sports. You have to buy the entertainment package. It includes movies and like UK TV Gold and stuff.
And they've killed, you don't even have Bravo anymore, any of the channels the dads would watch.
So... He took the plunge. We're back to the Sear View, you know. Wow. 4 channels, that's all you need, you know. Yeah. But yeah, apparently took 45 minutes.
That's annoying.
to cancel it over the phone.
Begging, please.
And in the end, they said, "Look, we'll give you broadband for half the rate."
That's an insane system, isn't it? By the way, where they can just be like, "The prices are fake. As long as you stay, we'll give you whatever."
Money's not real, you know. Yeah. We just make this up. But. He said a pretty cool thing. He said, you know what, if you offered it to me for free now, I wouldn't take it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hung up. Goodbye, Sky. Yeah. You'll never darken this door again. Get down the satellite, boys. So yeah, it's back to this, like, you know, because sometimes you come home to see the family. Yeah. Other times you go, I might just watch the game without having to stream it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Sit down, nice big homeowner couch and
TV.
Watch this go with the fire's on. Very nice. You know? Now it's
I'm
back
going to leave the room and come back and the match will still be on.
Yes, exactly. Now it's back to just heading over the dark web on a Saturday afternoon.
Frantically refreshing Twitter.
Yeah.
The thousands have taken down stream.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I say, they brought this upon themselves and they brought this upon me.
We talked about this. We called it at the time. I think it's the title of an episode which did particularly poorly because it was too clever a title for people to
I don't think anybody really cared about this either, bar me.
Yeah. We said it was the soccer AMification of Sky Sports, where everything was now like a soccer AM. But over time, I've actually figured out it's not soccer AM. It's just TikTok. They've turned it into a TikTok reel. Yeah,
no, it's the prices are too damn high.
Yeah,
and give it 10 years, folks, and Sky will be a online streaming platform.
Yeah, it'll be the Sky Sports platform, which would be way better.
Yeah, it's going that way anyways. And if you do still have your Sky and you think, I wonder how much it costs, I would say sit down first.
Yeah, brace yourself.
Get a cup of tea, and it's going to take a long time to get that cancelled, but it'd be worth it in the end.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a great show, just like Dog Sky Sports.
Ah, fuck them.
We'll never get on now. This would be our like Shane Gillis SNL.
Yeah, brought back up.
Oh,
we're on Soccer Social.
It was a joke, I guess.
Honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama. This is a totally shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
He was balls off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all the
time. No problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will.
In the studio.
Back in the lab. Yeah.
If you listen closely, you know what you can't hear? The noise of pots and pans in Mexico.
Yeah, and the sea and the sunshine.
Yeah.
Can't hear that either.
Yeah, I was getting a much different experience in Mexico. I was getting the noise of the kitchens.
Yeah, no, there's a few ropey ones. Some areas had better hostels than others. You know?
Also, the outside episodes were actually lovely. That's something I would nearly bring back.
What I've learned from the traveling, Will, one thing is that, you know, in bathrooms,
yeah.
You know, in the urinals, it was like little pee pads.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of a homogenous product like diesel? Like, no, it's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so many different brands everywhere you go. And I noticed this when I was here first, maybe it's just an Irish thing. I've never seen the same pee pad twice.
No, yeah, they always are totally different. We also, every now and then, people put in our group chat, where would you stand at this urinal where all the steps and stuff are in different situations?
It's just no one's got a monopoly on that yet.
No, yeah, we need to make the urinals monotone, like all the same. Yeah,
no one's gripped in that market.
No,
like, these are the pee pads. Everyone has a different design for the pee pads. Like, surely there's one way is the best, but the science is just so vast that
Yeah.
there's so many
Too
different
much
ways,
options.
too many options to go, and no one can agree on the most best one. That's what I've taken away from my 3 months of travel in Mexico.
That was the main.
That's the main takeaway. Also, yeah, I probably just found those episodes. Some of the hostels, what it was like a mini little capitalist thing, like old school economics, where like the more of it is,
Yeah.
the less price it'll be, and the better it'll be because more competition.
Yeah.
You go to like a quiet beach town, shit hostels, really expensive. You go to like a busy place and there's loads of hostels, they all have to compete with each other.
Yeah.
I went to one place, it was like 30, 40 euro nice. Free breakfast every morning,
Wow.
fresh fruit, banana bread, free coffee, free juice
That's
for a private room with an ensuite.
That is unbelievable.
And then other places, like it was like maybe 90 night, and like you'd be in a dorm.
Spit at you.
You'd be in a dorm with other people, and it was just like, well, this is just.
Suck it up, yeah.
Where else are you going to go? The Ritz? No, I think so.
That's right.
That's right. So yeah, it's you think I want to get off the grid. I want to go to the beach. It's like you're going to pay for it.
Impossible, yeah.
You're going
It
to pay
doesn't
for
exist.
it. There's one place that's like on a beach town, they're charging 30 euro a night for a tent.
Wow.
Like, come on, I can get that for free. Buy my own tent, have it for life. But yeah, no, I'm back. It's not just your financial institutions and sales offices that are making a push to keep people back in the office.
Yeah.
We now are.
Yeah, we've got our staff back. We're back in the tower.
The culture now is just, you can feel it. You can just taste the culture here. It's so good and it's so productive.
Yeah, it's great.
But no, I think we use the time well. I mean, I hope you all enjoyed Mexican Memento.
Yeah.
I do have one more little story
One
about
last
Mexican Memento.
Mexican Memento.
I don't think it's even worth playing the music because it's not really a story. It's just there's one time we went whale watching,
Yeah.
which when you're over there, that's the kind of thing you do. And this happened everywhere I went. What's your name?
Yeah.
Kyle.
What?
Kyle? Carl? One guy, he was English wasn't his first language, so he goes, "Hey man, what's your name?" We're on the boat, like, "Hey, introduce yourself, say a funny fact," And so he's lots of energy and stuff like that. And he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Cole." He's like, "Cole?" I was like, "Yeah." I usually say if it was a one-time meeting of a person, I would just,
Yep, that's me.
yeah, that's me. Who cares?
Cole.
Cole. He went, like Cole Palmer.
Yes.
He was a Honduran man who knew who Cole Palmer was. Big Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Big Chelsea fan. I was like, yeah, I guess that's who it is. This is more of a Honduras memento, really. Cole Palmer, big in Honduras.
Huge over there. The Honduras momentum. I don't know if that segment's going to stick.
Not a lot of Honduras mentions in popular culture. Hard to make that theme music, I think. But really, really enjoyed the trip. Great to be back. With the lads. Really back watching the Premier League, Will.
Yeah, at a regular time, I would say.
Yeah. It was usually like first thing in the morning. It was like 30 degrees there. So
Too early.
I was like a finance bro, kind of motivational guy. Up 6 a.m., cold shower.
Yeah.
Again, it's 30 degrees, so it's actually grand.
Yeah.
Get up, watch the game, take notes.
Yeah.
Go to the beach, your day's done. But yeah, it's nice to just get up on a Sunday and watch the Arsenal, Will. Hammer
That's crazy.
West Ham 6-0 on their own stadium, Will, in their own
I
backyard.
could be wrong here now. I probably am wrong.
Okay.
I don't remember Arsenal hammering a team like that in a long time. Even last season, I don't remember any 6-0.
I mean, I don't think they've hammered one of the quote unquote top six.
Yeah, but one of the
in a long time.
Standard bearers of the league.
They've had a few run-ins with Tottenham. I can remember the 8-2 a
Yeah,
long
but
time
those
ago.
games are mad.
But-
They don't count.
Yeah, it's like Everton and Liverpool. Like
Yeah,
forward
that's-
out the window kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It seems to be a strange one. I don't think they've ever beaten Man United 6-5-0.
Don't think so, no.
But I think I don't know where you put West Ham in that bracket. That was not the
They're
traditional
doing
top
well
six.
this season.
but
They're up there.
I mean, they beat Arsenal in the last fixture. This is the surprising thing.
Yeah.
I know at the time they were saying that Declan Rice, you should have joined a big club.
Yeah.
Which again, when you're a smaller club, and which is a point of contention, I think these days, small and big. It's like,
what does it mean?
What's it mean? It's pretty disrespectful, Aren't we all in this, Premier League family together?
We're all very rich lads.
But for this instance, we mean, financial ability and resources. So if a club with small resource, you lose your best player to another club and you beat them, go for it.
Yeah.
This is what's all about. Enjoy it, mate.
This is the moment.
This is the moment where you throw back in their face and you do it. This time, Arsenal, I guess they remembered that kind of disrespect.
That's the thing. That is what happens if you do give it to the quote unquote bigger club, you do have to play them again, and they're going to be angry now.
Well, for West Ham fans, probably thought that was in their ground. We won't get embarrassed at all. Worst thing, we'll draw at home. You know, we're beating 6 or 7 at home. And of course, Declan Rice has the best game of the season.
Obviously annoyed about the last time. He said, I'll show them.
2 assists, and he got the winning goal, which was like, it was just when everything's going your way. It was a classic thing where 2 Arsenal players leave the ball for each other and it goes between them. It probably would have got away if they weren't 5-0 down. But then
they were broken by then.
Just out of shots, Declan Rice comes on it, lashes it, flies into the side netting there, or into the side of the goal. And then, for me, Will, if you're losing 5-0 and the player you just sold, your best player you just sold to them, scores on you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather you celebrate than go, sorry, lads. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's 6-0 now.
Yeah. You didn't have to come on to the end of that one. You could have said, I'll leave it.
It's like I'm above you, by the way. Just like maturity and everything. I'm not going to celebrate this 6th goal,
You know, ye turned me into the player I am today.
We know that. That's why we're annoyed. Yeah, I'd say for West Ham fans, anyone who stuck around at that point.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people leaving at halftime.
Yeah.
Which is always, I feel like Sky love doing that. They love showing that. Or maybe it wasn't on Sky, but you do always see that when like you see the fans leaving early.
Yeah.
And it does, you get like the commentators are always like, oh, some people have seen enough. But it does feel like they're putting it up to be like, they don't even want to watch the rest of it. How about that, lads? It feels like you're kind of, fucking let them leave. Like, why are you punishing these poor people?
This is their day off, like, you know.
Yeah, they've spent a lot of money to probably go to this.
Yeah, it was funny because there was 3 goals the first half. Usually you see it end 4-1.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I would get at, maybe I'm psychoanalyzing here, people, but I think that like, to score another 3 in the second half, it's like they really didn't like that last time.
Yeah, they hate it. Well, we've seen what they think of Brentford over a few jabs here and there.
Well,
they've turned that into a huge rivalry.
I will say Ivan Toney is very unlikable.
Yeah, that's
when it's Ivan Toney, it's definitely worse. But yeah, I mean, maybe Arteta put that up on the wall.
Exactly.
You know, maybe he said, hey, Declan, look at this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's play the clip, everybody, for Declan to hear. Should join a big club.
Yeah.
I'm just putting out there. Well, that's what they're saying. That's what people are saying on the street about you.
That's the word on the street.
But yeah, it was funny to see people leave in a way that I don't know if you saw my Instagram story. Well, I didn't put on the no nonsense story. I forgot my running bit about Aura. But I was at an NBA game.
Yes.
In New Orleans. I briefly stopped in New Orleans, taking Mardi Gras.
Yeah, just see the sights.
And I was like, I wonder how much an NBA game is. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, they play 82 games a season. And then
it's relentless.
And the postseason. So I was like, maybe it won't be too bad. It really wasn't. $17 for tickets.
It's so mental. For the top level.
we were up there in the nosebleeds now. I wasn't courtside. They were still like a couple of $100 to get down courtside. But they had a blowout victory against the lowly Raptors. It was funny because I know, Jose Alvarado? He does this thing where you score baskets. And then they take the ball and they slowly play it out and they look up the court and they kind of assess what's going on.
All right, what are we going to do?
He does this thing where when they score, his team scores, he hides in the corner and it looks like he's on the subs bench.
Oh, and then he comes in.
And he comes around and he takes the ball off them.
Love that.
And they call it Grand Theft Alvarado.
That's sick. He has his own thing.
And they have t-shirts in the stadium.
That's so sick.
So they're up like 130 to 90. But he's thinking, if I want to stay around,
I need a thing.
I got to do the thing, And what better when they're tuned out? So
that would rot you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So like in terms of like 3-0 in both half, I was like, this is really rubbing it in. Like these guys are done, Like, and the people were leaving in the fourth quarter. Like they were like, okay, we'll beat the traffic. Let's get out of here. But I was thinking as well, that was from the start. Like New Orleans are home, and there's like Zion was like defying the laws of physics, flying through the air. Like it was so impossible to stop. Brandon Ingram had a season high, 41 points. I was hoping to get his career high of 49 points, but they took him off in the fourth quarter. I said, nah, rest him.
He's got to still shoot for something in the postseason.
This game's won. So people are like, okay, all the stars are off. We're going. Jose Alvarado is still there, still involved.
Grand Theft Auto, maybe.
Grand Theft Alvarado. But the thing is, right, in the NBA, when there's like a blowout game and there's not much happening, maybe this would have happened anyways, but there wasn't a single break where something didn't happen.
Yeah. It's the thing, if you're ever watching NBA on telly, especially if you don't watch it regularly, it will absolutely destroy your attention span. Like it's hard to watch. Yeah. Because it's relentless stuff happening in between the breaks.
But on TV, they'll go to ad breaks.
Exactly.
They'll fit in a Chick-fil-A ad.
Yeah, you might catch the end of the t-shirt.
In the stadium. They like halftime, I think there was the cheerleaders and also the t-shirt gun.
Yeah.
That was so close to getting one.
Oh.
We're just that high up that they weren't. The cheap seats aren't getting a free t-shirt.
The guns aren't powerful enough.
The guns aren't powerful to get to my $17 tickets. But they had a t-shirt going at halftime. And then there was a VAR call, essentially, where there's someone touched the ball and like, okay, we have to go to the screens. Look at this. And I guess they say, okay, we're going to allocate 5 minutes to this. We could get the decision in 2 minutes. We could get the decision in 5 minutes.
But we're going to use the
the 5 minutes done, we're back in the court. Not before, not after. So as the referees said, we're going to this VAR screen. The two teams go to the corners. All these people start run out in the court and set up this massive skee ball course. For anyone who doesn't know what skee ball is, it's just like basically different barrels with numbers on it.
Yeah, it's always in bowling alleys and stuff.
The numbers represented like the money that he could win. So quick as a flash, we got Jose here down here at courtside. Jose's going to come in and play some skee ball, try to win some money. Everybody cheer on Jose, and he's like rolling this ball. His referee's looking over the bar screen.
Sick.
He's out there rolling the ball, trying to get like hundreds of dollars, and he goes away with like a couple of $100. Then bar's over back into the game.
That's so genius.
There was 3 different dance competitions, Will, for all the timeouts, because you get like a couple of timeouts in the games as well. Each
like
team.
5 or something.
There was one just like going around every dance, and there was one dance off who can do the best dancing. There's one freeze dance competition where you could dance, then freeze, and then you had to pick which square won. There was the t-shirt cannon, there was the cheerleaders.
They're so far ahead.
Just there wasn't a second break.
Yeah.
And the thing was, I always wanted to see. I knew that some of the players. I wanted to see these, genetic freaks flying through the air, the Zions, the Brandon Ingrams. But my girlfriend Sarah was there. Now, when I say good morning, sports fans, Will, I don't think she includes herself in that group.
Yeah.
She loved it.
Yeah, of course.
She loved it.
It's games.
It's just like so much going on. It's like, maybe we get on the dance cam. I was like, maybe, babe, we'll see, Because like, if you're not there for the sport, you can come along and enjoy the festivities.
It's just fun time.
It's just a fun time. It's just like,
football's not a fun time a lot of the time.
Well, she's like, the GA could get a thing from this, I was like... like that's how much of a sports fan she is. Can't even see the correlations between the sports. Like, no, I like it at all. Yeah. But like, it's such a fun, like, energetic.
Why is it always like this?
So the people who want to watch basketball, they could watch it there, and they're not bored either when the break's happening. Exactly. If you don't like basketball, look what else is going on. I had to look at my phone once. You know what I mean? There's so much to look at.
It really does put in perspective. I've watched so much football games and been like, this is terrible. I'm not enjoying this at all, but I feel like I kind of have to watch it. Whereas, that's just so different.
Yeah.
And also, what the VAR thing, that would solve everything. If rather than everyone standing around and the commentators being like, why is it taking so long?
Yeah. Let the ref do their job,
Wheel out the skee ball. Get Dave from the crowd.
Again, this works for if you're in the stadium. I've watched it a couple times. I got really into basketball over lockdown. Watched it like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I had no job, so it's fine.
So it's
I know where to go. Always I know where to go. But like watching on TV it was a struggle.
It's a slog.
We're on for hours and just so many ads.
I've tried multiple times to get into the NBA, and I can never get past the slog of the game.
The late nights is one, and then the ads in the middle is like,
yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, it's definitely something to look into.
Yeah, 100%.
Something else people might want to look into, Will, is doping in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, look it up. I've seen some very inaccurate Twitter threads also being like, Barca did this, Pep did this, blah, blah, blah. And they've been community noted like, none of those people were there at the same time.
It's opened a bit of can of worms, actually.
Yes.
On X, which I don't know how much credence people give to X these days. But I did see the Pep doping allegation.
Which that's a common one, though. You hear that a lot, I think.
I think he got done for doping, didn't he?
He got done as a player for doping.
As a player for doping, yes.
And then his doctor at Barca got done for doping, I think it was. And I think he also brought that doctor to Man City, who've also been done. The Man City were done for 3 doping offences in one season in 2017.
Yeah.
And people are bringing that up like, and they were doing this as well.
Yeah.
But apparently it was 3 like, that they didn't fucking label something correctly. It was like, it's minor infractions.
Covering their tracks, Will.
Exactly, yeah. But it was like, when you see doping infractions, you're like, oh my God, they're cheating. But I think it was actually just like, they were so busy with all the cooking the books, they didn't have time to label the juice correctly.
Yeah. Well, and there was the Leicester implication, that big report that nothing came of that. There was all the Liverpool players who all had asthma.
And I think it's like one in 1 in 3 Liverpool players had asthma, and I think in the world it's 1 in 20 or something.
Yeah, just a strange,
and they're top level athletes.
strange coincidence, you know.
Yeah, and then they ran, and then all got injured.
And I saw people were obviously referring, because what I don't know, we didn't mention there, but if you haven't heard or seen it, Gary Neville on his podcast Stick to Football had this to say.
There's a couple that stick in my mind, and I'm going to say this because for legal reasons. I think there were a few teams that we played against that weren't clean. We thought it at the time.
What were they too pumped up? They were too pumped.
Must be the Italian teams.
Honestly, I remember me and Giggs in the mid 2000s.
The only thing I remember,
we were fit. We were fit.
When we played certain teams, I would be walking off and I'd be, you're absolutely shattered. And I remember it, and I'd be looking at players I played against, a couple of Italian teams. And they look like they've not even played a match.
Honestly, I genuinely, and I look back now and I think the sort of the stuff that.
Well, why can't we talk about that? Are we not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can't accuse people of. But what I'm saying to you is,
no, we're not naming names or clubs.
We're not naming clubs. No, but my point is, I think that when you look back now, what came out after in cycling and other sports and doctors, and then you think. And we thought at the time there were things that I'm sorry, physically we were fit. We weren't drinkers. We were fit. That's not right. There's something not right. I came off a pitch against an Italian team once. Thought that's not right. That's not right. I'm sorry. And I know that a couple of the other lads mid 2000s thought exactly the same thing.
Against no one in particular. He didn't say the name.
He did well to not let Roy Keane implicate anyone.
Because it's obviously Man United. People are bringing up the Rio Ferdinand missed a doping. Yeah. So people are like, well, what about this? It's like, but in a way, that just kind of proves his point that it was around.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people as well, I don't think it's ever been confirmed, but I think the story for that is, well, that was cocaine.
What about Adrian Mutu? Oh, that was cocaine as well. Oh. Well, have you ever seen some more cocaine?
They were running.
They won't stop. Burn the air off you in a smoking area.
It's funny timing as well, because you see that story you're talking about where it seems like it sounded like a fake story. But it's a common joke you heard for years, where some billionaire is trying to start up the juice.
It's a bit of a hack joke, like let them do drugs.
Apparently, some guy's trying to do it now, actually, which in theory, amazing. Definitely going to watch that. Sounds real. But in actuality, it's going to be a lot of injuries and like if there's any fighting, it'll be people getting severely hurt.
Yeah.
Any athletics, it'll be people pulling up with above my knees just exploded because they're so weak from all the juice.
Yeah, well, this is the thing about what steroids is. It's obviously synonymous with bodybuilding. Yeah. So people think you take steroids, you get big,
strong.
But what it does is it helps you recover. So it means if everyone gone to the gym or gone for a run after a long time out and your body is fucking aching afterwards, like, oh, I'm not doing that again for another week. You take the juice, you get the concoction in your body, you won't feel anything.
Exactly.
Your recovery is almost instant.
A lot of the wrestlers in the 80s that were fucking huge. People always point to steroids in them. They were on massive amounts of steroids. Yeah. But it wasn't the steroids making it big. It meant they were going to the gym 3 times a day because they were feeling no pain.
There was no recovery needed. So they go to the gym every day for hours. Yeah. And that's so with a footballer, you might say, well, they weren't any bigger than anybody else, but it was mean you could train really hard Monday. If you're on the juice, you go back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Game comes Saturday. And you're aerobic. Yeah, where someone has been taking kind of easy before the game and trying to eat pasta and broccoli, and it's like, good luck, I'm going to run you off the pitch. The most famous one is the Russian example.
Incredible. I think that is one of my favorite team performances ever in World Cup because it was so blatant.
Which I don't know if you watched the Tucker Carlson interview.
With Putin,
Putin kind of confirmed that. Where he said we have super athletes here. We're in the age of superhuman, whatever the fuck he said. I was like, oh yes, that's confirmed then.
That makes sense, yeah.
So everyone's looking at this Gary Neville accusation and saying, bitter Man United people who only won 1 Champions League, and I guess 2 for Gary Neville's case. And also people are looking at saying, well, mid-2000s you were getting a bit old, Gary. Maybe that's why you were slowing down a bit, and you just kind of at the time I think you were in your head, I'm most fit as a fiddle. But there is circumstantial evidence around this in all sports, and if you thought at the time, maybe there was some truth to it, but it's funny because we heard the clip there, and he said, "Look, for legal reasons, I want to get into it." I like to say, Roy Keane wanted to say it, but it was Carragher who said, "Must be Italian teams." They left that in the clip for some reason, and then
why would you not edit that out? That's so mental.
And then Roy said the Italian teams again. Said, "Okay, if we edit it out both, then you're going to get this gist of what people are saying." So they left it in. And of course, people can then look at the fixture, which anybody can look up and say, who did Man United lose to in the mid-2000s, being from 2003, 2008?
Yeah, that were Italian.
And someone on X Someone on X has done the maths.
Yeah. This is like when that guy worked out the day that Ice Cube was talking about. Today was a good day.
Very similar stuff. He has Man United's fixtures in the mid-2000s against Italian teams. 2003, no. 2004, no. 2005, UEFA Champions League, round 16, AC Milan, they lost. 2006, no. 2007, quarterfinal, qualifier round versus AC Roma, they won.
Yeah.
And then the semi-final versus AC Milan again, they lost in 2007. That was the Kaká year, Ballon d'Or. I think they won. That was the revenge year against Liverpool, I think.
Yeah.
Then 2008, they played Roma. That was the 8-3, 5-0.
And they hammered them by a lot of goals.
That was the end for Totti.
Yeah.
At the time. It was like, he's done, he's finished. You know? And then they played Roma again. That was in the group stages. And then they played them in the knockout stages again. They beat Roma twice. So the only team they played and lost, I know they played Juventus in the mid-90s and late 90s, but he did specifically say mid-2000s twice.
Yeah, he knew.
Which maybe he's remembering it wrong. He thinks he's talking about
that's the thing, because I don't know how much Roy would have been there in that time. He was gone like
2005.
2005.
So he wouldn't have played against AC Milan in 2007.
So that's why I think it's jumbled in his memory. I'd say it's early 2000s is my
Well, he said 2000s. He said, me and Giggsy. It's like, you were getting a bit old at that point, lads. But maybe Roy's thinking, I was playing in the 90s.
Exactly.
But they beat, all I ever see is them beating Juventus.
But this is the thing. It's now like that, say the Juventus game where Roy Keane at the game was like, that might have been a game where when they came off, like he says in it, we came off dying in bits and they looked like they hadn't played. They might have still beaten them just from pure heart and will. But they might have been like, fucking hell, that was hard.
But if you're losing, you're like, it's okay, I'm on the juice. We'll turn this around. Like,
well, that's the thing. Maybe they're complacent.
This is not right. I know we beat them 3-0, but this is not right. You know?
Do you know how much leagues we've won? We only beat them 2-1.
Yeah, like it doesn't really add up. You wouldn't.
Yeah, no, it must be again the loss.
When you win, is Roy obviously has this in his head that.
I wonder, was it like one of the Club World Cups? But no, sure, they would be against like a team from Africa and a team from fucking.
This is the thing.
South America.
We're pulling like stuff from all types of years, all types of people, different doctors, different leagues.
Yeah.
And we're saying maybe there's something there, but even their own accusations don't really add up. So
no, yeah. I'd say it's a mixture of games that are all kind of jumbled in their heads.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Roy and Gary are thinking of two completely different teams.
Well, judging by the years, they must be, because if it was mid-2000s, Roy was gone by 2005.
Yeah.
They didn't play him by 2004. If we're talking, Roy Keane is the one who said Italian teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's a mad accusation. I'd be surprised if Karen Schlotty even says anything about it, because that gives it kind of weight.
Don't want to mention it, I would say, yeah.
But if you do, then it can rumble on. But I think because the accusations are so vague and doesn't even line up, I think they'll probably just...
Because it was mad. I was watching that podcast. I had it on like in the TV in the canteen at work. I was kind of half listening to it.
Yeah.
And then when he said, I just heard like the words like, oh yeah, there was dope and ever. Like my ears perked up like, whoa, you're not allowed to say that. What's going on here?
Yeah. My favorite bit, like we were saying, was Ian Wright goes, what, they're like too pumped up or whatever?
They were big guys, weren't they?
Confirmed Ian Wright never did steroids.
Yeah.
Has like no idea what it is.
No idea.
What, like fucking like
they're huge,
cool or
guys,
something? Or, like really fucking handsome? Or,
they're benching before they get out.
They have sweet mullets or like what is steroids? So that was the only saving grace. Okay, Ian Wright's clean. Good. Yeah. All the goals he scored were clean. Well, do you know what, Will? If it does come out, maybe they'll get some retrospective punishment. But not too hard because it's FIFA. So maybe just like, I don't know, like not a red card or a yellow
That'd be
card.
too harsh. Yellow's not hard enough.
Yeah, something in between.
Yeah, blue.
Like the veins. Like they're bulging veins.
So we're going to talk about the blue cards, if people have probably heard about. Could they have picked a worse colour? The colour system makes no sense anymore now.
Joe, I think this was not trial. They used to do this years ago in GA, in the league.
Yeah.
They used to have this conference and they tried the sin bin for a bit. They tried to pick up the ball for ground. I think blue card was like maybe talk around that. Leave it. Like it's too complicated.
It's too confusing, yeah.
So I think it's been knocked out in other sports as well. I'm sure Jay wasn't the first person to come up with this kind of a sin bin, different color card, but it's just like when you think of yellow and red cards, like in our brains, that's fine. It's normal. It's just they're good colors.
Yeah.
Blue cards. What?
But this is the thing, because yellow is like, it's a warning.
Yeah.
And then you get the darker color next, you get the red. And you would think black is worse than red.
Well, yeah, that's, I guess, what I had the GF.
But if someone showed me a blue card with no context, and I didn't do that, and I think, have I won something? Am I being awarded something here?
Well, yellow and red is traffic light colors, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, slow down. Okay, stop now. Get off. You know? Was green is like go, so
yeah, green's going to be tackling harder. You can't show someone a green card.
you got to go blue. Then I guess it's the only natural
because they're going
primary
to
color.
stop them in their tracks. They're going to say what?
Purple is like almost too close to red.
Yeah, it's too sexy.
You're turning me on now. A velvet purple card. That was sexy. That was a disgustingly nice pass. Purple card. Yeah, it's a strange one, but it's for sin bins. It's for that kind of reckless challenge, cynical challenges.
Yeah, and so it came out. I'll read what the lawmakers, it says here, are set to introduce.
I love that, the lawmakers.
Yeah.
I always picked them in wigs.
Now, I will say, I don't know if it was FIFA or UEFA, but one of the football bodies came out and they're like, no, we're just trialing it, not at the elite level. It's like, well, why are you trialing it if you're not going to introduce it into the game? So it says here, lawmakers set to introduce trials for 10-minute sin bins. IFAB, set to introduce blue cards for football bins. Referees will have the power to send players off for 10 minutes for dissent or cynical fouls. The FA will consider trialling sin bins in the FA Cup and Women's FA Cup next season.
Okay.
It's not too confusing, but it does like introduce like, okay, well, what's a cynical foul? What does that mean? Joe, and then like, well, what's the point of a red card? If like what? Yeah. How do you differentiate the two? And then they bring in things like this: 2 blue cards results in the player's dismissal for the rest of the match, as would a blue and yellow card. So then we're getting into like, okay, how do I keep track of all this?
Yeah.
He has a blue and a yellow, so he's off.
He's off, yeah.
But it's like, well, what's the point of having 2 yellow cards then?
Yeah. Well, I guess 2 uncynical challenges, just 2 dangerous tackles, but not red card dangerous tackles.
It's like, it really does open the door to a lot. And then it's like a sin bin for dissent. We've seen some things are dissent. The exact same thing later on in the game is not dissent. So you can't just be sending a player away for 10 minutes for one thing, and then later on in the game, if you don't do it again, it's like, well, you've cost us there.
Yeah.
Ange Postecoglou was speaking about it. He wasn't happy.
Oh, of course.
He had this to say.
There's a remedy for that already. Just show a yellow card or send someone off. It's there. It's in the rules. Like, how much you tolerate is really up to you. Adding another one, what's that going to do? Is that going to mean, is it degree of dissent, or is it any dissent, or is it kind of the magnitude of the dissent? Is it what you say? Is it what you do? So the remedy's already there. Now, if it's not being enforced to a level that people are satisfied, well, do that. That's the change you need to make. I don't know why. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because I just like I said, I'm in a different space in terms of where I think football's at. But one team being down to 10 men for 10 minutes, you know what it's going to do to our game? It's going to destroy it, mate. You're going to have one team just sitting there trying to waste time for 10 minutes waiting for a guy to come on. You know, like I said, every other game is trying to speed up. Every other sport is trying to declutter. All we're trying to do is go the other way for some bizarre reason. But
that is, but I think he feels like red card, like
it changes the game.
It doesn't happen as often as a blue card. I mean, for what's this soft card for?
Yeah.
Now we get sent off for anything. You know, if you lose a player for red card, it's like, okay, well, it won't happen as often, even though by his own performances, his own team's performance this year, it's happened a lot. Yeah. They're always getting sent off.
That's why he's not happy. He's like, no, I can't have any more cards.
Another reason for us to get sent off and lose a title. Yeah, no, it is very similar to when the black card came into GA, and it was the same thing. It was like cynical fouling. Now, that was based on one incident where it happened in a Tyrone game, and Sean Cathal drags him down, going in on goal.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take a yellow. It's not dangerous. It's just, I'm just pulling you back and you can't go in. And there's all this outcry for it, and it's brought in this new system. I guess the cynical fouling, the most famous cynical foul I can think of is the Solskjaer one.
Yes.
It comes along every now and again on Instagram. You'll see where he's like, yeah, well, I stopped the goal, I get sent off. But
yeah.
So the last one back is already a thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's already, you get punished for that.
So I'm not sure. Maybe the dissent, when they're getting shouted and abused,
they hope this will stamp that out.
They're thinking back their training and go, well, this is yellow according to the rule book this year. But is it not yellow though? Is it like, yeah. I can't, like, it's not like a high challenge. Like, it's not a yellow. So I can't give a yellow, but you know, maybe it's tap out into dissent. But yeah, all I remember from the GA, like the black card came in for cynical fouling, and they gave examples like, say, a foot trip or a hand trip or a drag down or pull down.
Yeah.
I don't know what the statistics are, but in my mind, it's like a 500% rise in hand trips, which I never saw beforehand. It's like, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, but that's the, you're going to figure out how to game the system no matter what you bring in.
Well, that was not game the system. That was like hand trips you'd be sent off for them, and then they started hand tripping. Like, I never thought of stopping them that way.
Yeah.
But they make the calculated decision to take the black card and go off and whatever. So, yeah, I think you'd probably see more cynical fouling at the start. The abuse, if there's a real repercussion for it. If you abuse me or say something, you say, oh, go fuck yourself, what you know, you clown. And you put the blue card and you go off. That is a real threat for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think if they bring it in after the women's trial, is it in the women's FA Cup?
I think so, yeah. That's
I think they're trying to eat it in, but they will bring it, I'd say.
But it's the trouble of seeing how, especially in the Premier League, the referees have adapted.
They're so good.
And they've adapted to new rules and technology. It's always, the slightest rule change is a total and utter disaster.
No, they don't implement rules very well.
No.
They seem to struggle with new things, which, I mean, who doesn't, you know? But it's a system-wide thing that you should be trusting, not the individual referees, I think. So
they have here, this is on Sky Sports, they have an example of what an example of what would have been a blue card. This is why I think why they're going to, there probably some teams want it in, and why especially the English game might want it in.
Okay.
One example given of what a blue card would have been during Thursday's IFAB meeting was from the Euro 2020 final. Italian centre-back Giorgio Chiellini, shirt pull on England forward Saka, which only resulted in a yellow card.
That's a much better example of a cynical foul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all know what he did there. That was the dark arts.
Yes, this is, it's a dark arts card. A dark arts card.
That's why it should be black.
It should be black.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
That does make more sense, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah. Now I get it, Will.
They're trying to stamp out the dark arts.
Stamp out the dark arts.
We remember after that game, now I'm sure English fans hated that game. The rest of the world was like, what a performance from Chiellini. Like, it's a real treat to see the dark arts sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see the dark arts gone from the game.
I mean, let me check on Diego Simeone. Is he okay? This is going to kill them.
Yeah.
He's finished.
Descent. Yeah.
Dark arts is their thing. Yeah. Stoke, I mean, I know they're the Premier League, but if they were still in it, they'd be finished as well.
Oh, yeah. Gareth Southgate then speaking after hearing these proposals.
Yeah.
I would have said the game has worked quite well for a long time. I know we suppose we always have to modernise certain things, but yeah, I'd have to really understand how that was going to work before I gave a strong view. If discipline is bad, you send players off. That's all it should be, really.
No, listen, I mean, I think it's the way the game's gone. Like, you talk about players from the 90s or 2000s on the many podcasts that they have, and the game's kind of gone soft, You used to be able to
you could kick whoever you liked.
Kick whoever you like, a game's gone soft. That is the way the game's
Take
gone.
as much juice as you want.
That's why we're so physical back then. Oh, up their gills, testosterone. But no, like, this is, a lot of sports gone the same way. Like, American football is really trying to take out the head injuries. Basketball is all about kind of skillful players and three-pointers and the skills we want to see, And football is all different, It's not about 2-foot people. It's not about letting them know you're there. It's about really fast players scoring beautiful goals, So you don't want to see Atletico Madrid's, I guess, even though when we do see them, it's like, oh, this is nice. This is
it's a nice change.
It's different characters.
Exactly. That's what it should be like. It should be like a cartoon you watch.
But really, it's like if you're the richest team and you can buy the best players, and they can run away from your players, you can now do less to stop them.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So it benefits the big teams who can buy the Vinicius Juniors of the world.
Yeah.
And the players who have the Stefan Savages of the world. Like, you're going to run past, bud.
Yeah. Good luck catching me.
Sorry, Dan Byrne. Like, you don't have a place at the top table.
Yeah.
You can't stop
me. Hey, stop me if you want, but you'll be gone for the next 10 minutes and I'm going to score 3 goals.
Yeah. So I guess it's...
Because that's the thing as well. If it's a sin bin.
Yeah.
And say, like, right, your right back is gone for 10 minutes. You can't sub someone on for 10 minutes. So it's like, right, I guess we have a hole in right back now that we can't fix. Whereas if it was a red card, you can bring someone on and shift the team around.
I can think of another one, actually. Well, I think, speaking of Dan Byrne, the one that Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't get sent off for.
Yes.
Where he stood across him that time and he was on a yellow and the other person got down for yellow beforehand. I was like, it's not sending off though, is it? Blue card would solve that problem.
Yeah.
Might have had his career that day, actually. Because that was a really low moment for him, which they ended up winning thanks to 2 Darwin Nunez stunners.
Yeah.
And no one remembers anymore. So this will change the trajectory of some players' careers, I think.
Yeah.
But it does, I think, lend itself to small, fast, skillful players who can kick a past you, run around you, and now you can't stand in front of them and take the yellow. You're off 10 minutes. And they'll score a goal and they go, that was definitely your fault.
Yeah, there was a big gaping hole there.
We can trace it back to when you fouled him, got sent off, and then he went down that wing and scored again.
Thanks.
You are the team. We need to get someone faster and we can't afford it. And this is what I think this is what it is. It's just more Super League nonsense, Will.
Yeah, exactly.
More fuel for the Super League fire, actually. Forget what I just said. More fuel for the Super League fire, more inequality coming on the lines at quote-unquote smaller clubs with less resources.
Because if you think, I was only thinking this the other day, remember they brought in the 5 sub rule during COVID and they kind of just like, keep it.
Yeah.
That really fucked all the smaller teams. So it's like, let Man City bring on 5 players in the second half who are all world class.
Man City have won every league since. Haven't they?
I think so.
Because Liverpool won the one in COVID. They brought in the 5 subs. Liverpool had that season 1.
Yeah.
But ever since then, they bring on Mahrez and Grealish for like 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
They won the treble.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the effect of these things in real time. The richest clubs, the most resources, it's all to suit them.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's good, but it'll probably come in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so. And I do think, I know they're trying to stamp out dissent. I think we've seen this season, you can't, it's too ingrained in this generation of players. The next generation of players, yes, they grew up with these rules, they might.
Yeah.
You were never going to stop Bruno Fernandes from yapping at you, I think.
It's how he was raised.
It's how he played. I saw a stat the other day. He is 2 yellow cards from dissent away from being the most carded for dissent player in the history of the Premier League.
Yeah.
So he's never going to stop just because there's a new rule. You tell me if you send him off for 10 minutes, he's not going to be more annoyed. He's going to come back on pointing at you.
Yeah. Well, someone else who's not going to stop stop scoring, especially when I make predictions about him, is Rasmus Holjund. It's happened. 5 in 5 for Rasmus Holjund, equal to his Champions League goals of 5.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said. He wouldn't score more. He didn't score enough. I think he's proven the point, though.
Yeah.
I
didn't think he'd be anywhere near 5.
5 starts, 5 goals. They haven't lost the game, which he scored this season. So every time he scores, they win. They've won 3 in a row now, and he's spearheading the whole thing. Well, I was thinking of an example. Maybe this is getting ahead of myself, right? But Man United were bad and they were languishing and whatever.
Yeah.
A good striker can really cover over those cracks. I was thinking of like that last Man United team to win the league with Van Persie.
Yeah.
You take him out there, you put
they're doomed.
They're probably like 7th, 5th, 6th around that thing. Like there was weeks of that team. You have a striker you have to worry about. It changes the whole shape of the game.
Yeah, if you just have a lad who's getting on the end of those never-ending balls lashed across the box, like that changes everything.
Because against most teams, you'll get chances. If you don't finish most of them, you're up there. You're on your way up.
Especially with like Garnacho and Rashford on the wings. Even Rashford's not having a bad season. He's still very fast and very capable of kicking across the box. Like, if he does that 3 times a game and Hojlund can get on the end of one of them, it changes everything.
It makes every better. I think they're if they keep up this this progress with Hojlund, I think they'll probably get into the Europa League. I'd say at this point, which around the season like no chance. West Ham and Aston Villa that wrapped up.
And this is the thing as well. I still don't know how it works really. I think is it 5 places for the Champions League?
Coalition or coefficient. So, I don't know.
But yeah, like there's a chance they'll play Champions League football, which is
if they were to get to 5th, there's definitely more than a chance with the strikers scoring goals.
And like I think that's a really good first 2 seasons for Ten Hag. Then, even in the midst of all the disaster,
it's the cycle, Yeah,
exactly.
The culture is being changed. Then it's like get him out. He's not doing shit.
Yeah,
a few wins and it's all good again. And especially when they're not close to win the league ever, it's like it's not really the main story. It's just the squeaky wheel gets the grease when it comes to Man United. This
does feel like, I think more than ever, a season where people care less about the United circus than they ever did in the past.
It's kind of
everyone's used to it. It's like they're always bad.
It's the Taylor Swift effect,
Exactly. Did you see, by the way, this week, overnight, people were like sick of her hair.
Reach the limit.
That's it. I've seen her one too many times.
Yeah, when I was over in Mexico, playoff season, of course, when I was there, we're down by the beach. A lot of Americans over there watching the playoffs in the bars. There was one guy who turned to his friends like, "Dude, this is fucking it, dude. This is the way to do it." They're watching like these guys playing in the snow, and they were like sipping margaritas watching this bar. But yeah, every graphic that came up had like Taylor Swift betting thing. Because if you think of all the betting we have here. They have the same stuff in America. It was all parlays and like they're big into their parlays, which I think is accumulators. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah, it's something like that.
And it's like Travis Kelce to get X number of yards and Taylor Swift to be there. But they just like put it there as like the same as we do with the keywords, like my night, my night, my night, my night, my night, my night, my night. You know, they just stick in there. So if you're an NFL fan and you see it every single time, you're like, okay, she's better than the NFL. We get it. She's proved your point. But like, I hate seeing this now. You know.
Yeah.
I want to see skee ball. I want to see someone win.
Get to half time already.
I want to see someone do a half court shot, you know? So yeah, I think that's my night the same thing. It's like, we get it, they're not great and they want to be better. And it's like, someone's taking over the club, maybe they're not. Like, it's not my club, you know? Well, whatever did. Are we going down or not? You know? There's bigger stories.
Someone said they were getting a 10-point deduction. Nobody was ever mentioned it.
Yeah. Nottingham Forest just pretending that you know, it's like when the teacher says at the end of the class, I want to talk to you, and you're sitting there thinking,
and they forget,
maybe I'll just say nothing, and maybe I could just leave the end, and at the end they go, "Carl, where are you going?"
Yeah.
I told you.
You're relegated.
Shit.
You're in more trouble now.
You're in pass maths. I told you that last time. So yeah, it's a strange one in the league because last week we saw Arsenal beating Liverpool, big game, and everyone give out them for winning, and celebrating.
Get down the tunnel.
Yeah,
losers.
Carragher had a bit of a meltdown. And I think it's because they look at Arsenal beating Liverpool not as a statement victory. It's like, well, yeah, you'll do it now when it doesn't matter. But, you know, you're still going to lose the City. So Liverpool was the best chance. They're the only who's done it in recent memory.
Yeah, if Liverpool had beaten Arsenal that game. It would
huge.
That was huge, yeah.
But as it stands now, Liverpool are top. Man City have a game in hand, which is customary this time of year. They have
Haaland's back.
Haaland's back, scoring goals. Assisted by De Bruyne. It's all coming together, folks.
Just in time. It's like clockwork every year.
Yeah. Arsenal are on little points with City, but again, the game in hand.
So play City again.
For now, it's like there's still 3 in the title race, but in people's minds, it's Liverpool are barely in the title race and City are the favourites.
Yeah, and like even with Liverpool, even though they're top, I think a lot of people are like, yeah, but Darwin's up top. Like things like that is like,
yeah,
I've never seen that guy win a league before. Like he's not Firmino and Mane doing it.
He's like a small kind of Arsenal in the Liverpool side. He keeps scoring goals. People go, yeah, but did he mean it? Like, I mean, was that a good goal?
He hit the post 4 times first.
That was good actually. A couple weeks ago, first player ever to score hit the post 4 times in one game. That's a crazy stat.
That was mad. That was one of the maddest games I've ever seen.
But adds the whole lack of trust in Darren Núñez to fire them to the title, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, when you see Haaland come back in and not miss a beat, it's like
straight back in.
It's injured
Hadn't
for
kicked
weeks.
The ball in 3 months.
How many players have you seen come back from injury and like, oh, they need to get match fit?
De Bruyne as well, the two of them.
It's nonsense. It's always been nonsense. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it looks it's shaping up to be another City win. I guess they're still on course for the quadruple, are they? Are they knocked out of something?
Oh, I don't know if they're knocked out. They're definitely on for the treble.
I feel they're knocked out of something.
Yeah. I don't think it's the FA Cup, though. I think they're still on for the big treble. Big one.
No, they're not knocked out of the Champions League, Will.
No.
Which is coming this week. It's back. We'll be doing an episode of that. Patreon.com/nononsense.com. Become ultra today.
Now.
$4.50 a month. We'll be covering all the Champions League this week. Yeah, this is the start of the season where it all starts to truncate.
This is where it comes at you.
We'll be covering it all. And of course,
in
person. Yeah, none of this traveling the world shite anymore, you know. We're back.
It's mad we've survived 2 mini immigrations.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah. One wasn't my fault. One I had no choice. You know, the job came calling, I had to do it. But we're back for the foreseeable.
Yeah, Ireland new manager any day now.
It's any week. Is it Lee Carsley?
We've also got our groups for the Nations League
and
the Euros. We could cover that in the Patreon, maybe. We're coming up with this live.
As we live and breathe, Will. Breaking news from the past. AFCON. We've mentioned it here and there. Winners, Will. Drum roll.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast have won.
I bet their manager's sick.
Yeah.
Former manager, I guess.
You'd be worried. That is a mad story.
That is the biggest and most effective new manager bounce I've ever seen in my life.
More teams need to do that. Have you ever heard of that in an international tournament?
No, because it's bad business. If you're still technically in with a chance of being in the competition, you don't sack the manager because you never know. You're sending a signal like, it's over, lads.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone doesn't know the story. Ivory Coast sacked their manager after the second group game, which I think they drew or lost.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough.
It looked like they were out. It looked like it would have to be a very specific set of results to get them through. I mean, Ireland have been there plenty of times. We lose the first two games. They're like, well, we can't mathematically get through. Rarely there's like if they win and it's score difference.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast were in one of those hopeless situations and said, come on, let's be real here.
As if Equatorial Guinea are going to beat whoever.
What, Cape Verde are going to go on and run? And they did apparently. And the new manager who's in just as a placeholder, just to send a message, this isn't good enough.
Yeah.
He's now gone on and won the whole AFCON.
I think this also must have been the biggest AFCON in history. Like, it's the most talked about I've ever heard. Because normally it's like, oh, AFCON. Now I've lost the player in the Premier League. This year it felt like, this is great. Like, this tournament's really exciting. There's loads of people talking about it online. Like, you saw the clips of the amazing goals and stuff.
Yeah.
Huge for the tournament.
Not us, though.
Not us, no.
No, we couldn't compete with the coverage offered by the one, the only Daniel Sturridge.
He's back, baby.
Africa Cup of Nations final. Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. We have
Pussy gone, in defense is where he belong. But he will score you go from the spot.
Victor Osimhen. Lookman's a goal scorer. But on the other hand of that, we have Sebastian Aller.
Sebastian.
Simon Adingra. And tell me how you go with Ivory Coast best midfielders. This tournament's had everything from amazing goals to dancing mascots to penalty shootout to dancing journalists. It's been a mad team. The Elephants sacked their manager after finishing third in the group stage and now face the Super Eagles again in the final.
We meet again at last.
They'll look to dominate possession, whip crosses and take long shots and stay compact defensively. But beware of the Super Eagles. Their counter-attacks are fierce with speed and skill. 1-2s, combination. It's going to be hard to beat Ivory Coast at home. But it's Osimhen and Nigeria's time. So I'm going to go with Nigeria. Didier! I'm sorry, bro.